To conclude our chapter on photometric interiors, let's use manufacturer photometric data to provide a downlight in the living room. Go to the Create panel, Lights, Photometric, create a free light, and in the top view, click near the middle of the room there, and then right-click to exit the Creation tool. Grab the Move tool, and in one of the ortho views, right-click, and then click and drag to move that light up to the ceiling. And we want it to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 3.5 meters in the Z-axis. Then go over to the Modify panel and rename it Downlight. In the general parameters at the bottom is the light distribution type. Change that over to Photometric Web. And now we need to choose a map. We now have a rollout here that says Distribution Photometric. Choose Photometric File. Click that button, and you should be taken to your current project Scene Assets Photometric. I've got an IES file that I downloaded from Lithonia Lighting at lithonia.com, and that is an LED downlight. Select that and click Open. And now that's been assigned, and we can get in closer here and we can see that it's a special icon. It's now kind of oval shaped instead of round. In its parameters, the intensity has been set automatically. Scrolling down a little bit, it's got the disk type, and we don't actually want that. So we want to switch that over to point. The one thing that is not provided with that photometric data is the Kelvin or color temperature. But I know actually from the file and from the data on the manufacturer website that it has a custom Kelvin value of 2700. So set that here, 2700 degrees Kelvin. We set our other lights color temperature arbitrarily. And now let's change those up in order to balance the lighting with this one here. So go over to the spotlight, select that. Set the spotlight's Kelvin value to 2700 degrees Kelvin as well. Let's make it interesting. We'll make those two lights a little bit orange relative to the lamp light. Select the lamp light and give it a custom Kelvin value of 2800. And the lamp light is the brightest light in the camera's field of view. So we should color balance to that. Go back into Rendering, Exposure Control, and set the white balance to 2800 degrees Kelvin to match this lamp light. And then these other two lights will be a little bit more orange than that. This one out here, if we select it, it's got a Kelvin value of 3200, so it's going to be blue. So this one will be neutral, these two will be a little bit orange, and this one will be blue. All right, we've added a manufacturer-supplied photometric definition to our downlight and color balance the other lights in the scene. We can go ahead and do a render. Go to Render Setup. Make sure you're rendering the physical camera and click Render. And here's a full screen rendering of the final version of our interior artificial lighting setup. We've got an IES file providing the photometric data for the downlight. And we've also color balanced the lights and the exposure in the scene so that the camera is white balanced for the brightest light in the shot. And that concludes our chapter on photometric interior lighting using ART.